Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And JT.
Coming up on today's episode, we're back on the DL with another installment of Disney Legends. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
JT, Showtune Sunday Landry.
Clocked. Patrick, send the code. He's waiting there. The sticks and stones they throw froze midair. Everyone wants him. That was my crime. The wrong place at the right time. And I break down. Then he's pulling me in a world of boys. He's a gentleman. Kazuki.
No one's ever said that about me, but is that a Tay-Tay quote?
Yeah.
Assuming.
Patrick, you're getting so good at this. I'm so proud of you.
I just assume that always is when you are.
Listen, you get movie quotes from Kale. You get song quotes from me. Yes, that is. Those are lyrics from Taylor's from 1989. Taylor's version, the lead vault track entitled "Slut." And I said that's exclamation point. It's written with quotation marks and an exclamation point. Slut.
Sure.
Yes.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks. I wish I cared about Taylor Swift quotes, but I don't. I absolutely don't. Like immediate pass for me. I don't know what it is. I'm trying so hard. I'm empathetic to the Swifties out there, but I'm not on that board. I'm not on that plane
or the board.
I'm walking the plank, apparently.
You are walking the plank of Taylor's private jet.
I am.
Yeah, no, I did give you Beyonce lyrics once.
You did. You served up some Beyonce, and I appreciated that.
I would have given you something different, but I had to honor the recent release of 1989 Taylor's version. So
many Insta stories last night. I was like, oh, Lord.
And Patrick, it's true. In a world of boys, you are a gentleman.
Disagree.
Well, okay. All right, okay.
I think in a world of
what?
In a world of gentlemen, I'm a little boy. I feel like is actually.
But you're not a slut.
Well, okay.
Well, there's no slut shaming on this podcast.
Absolutely not. So even if I was,
yes, no, there's no slut shaming on this podcast. And if you are, own it and just
Amen. Amen. Well, speaking of owning things, how are you, JT? How's it going?
It's going pretty well.
Good.
On the mental health scale, my results might be skewed because I am currently drinking a venti cold brew, and as you know, iced coffee drinks give us extra power.
They do.
And so, but no, I'm doing pretty well.
Good.
Yeah, it was a long week. As you know, I was traveling for work. I
do know because I saw you.
I know that was the highlight of my week. Yes, Tweedles, Patrick and I got to, if you follow Instagram, you probably saw us. I look as many drinks in as I probably was in that photo. But no, it was such a delight to be able to see you and to be able to see Dan, your hubby, and it was delightful.
Yeah, it was fun to hang out outside of Disney.
I know. That was our first time hanging out outside of Disney, wasn't it?
Yeah, completely outside, like nowhere near a park.
I had to go to the northern reaches of our country to do it.
It's true. I even had to hike a little bit. I wasn't even in Minneapolis. So
you were in beautiful Eden Prairie.
I sure was. Oh, it was lovely.
Yeah. How are you, Patrick?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
It is a crisp 38 degrees here in Minnesota. So things. I'm not drinking an iced coffee. I'm drinking a hot coffee instead. Things are good. My show is closing as of today. Actually,
congrats.
As of recording. Thank you so much. It was a super fun ride. In fact, actually, I don't know if I told you this. The gentleman who wrote the show that I directed is Vincent Hannum, who you and I talked to on the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea episode.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
very
he wrote
cool.
the show. Yeah, so I got to work with friends this past September and October, and it was a ton of fun. Our poor stage manager, Nora, if you're listening, shout out to you. Love you so much. On opening night, it was the next show after opening night, broke her foot and so could not continue with the rest of the run. So she's a stage manager now as well. I had to like step in, and I've never called the show before, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So lights and sound, go.
Did you feel powerful?
I felt powerless, actually, because I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But now I sort of have a rhythm going. But boy, nothing like being thrown in the deep end to learn how to swim. It's just like, yay.
Go for lights.
Standby sound.
Ooh.
Go.
Maybe now you can cue like the Very Merry Christmas parade, or like the Boo to You parade.
Can you imagine?
Stand by for Headless Horseman.
That runs itself, I have to believe.
I don't know about that. Well, it probably does, actually, yeah.
It probably could, but no, that's stage managed within an inch of its life, for sure.
I hope Nora's feeling better.
Me too.
Honestly, Nora, if you're listening, there are easier ways to get out of a show if you don't want to do a show.
No.
Less painful ways if you just don't like the people you're working with.
No. She's a dream to work with. Me, maybe not so much. So maybe she...
I'm sorry I didn't get to see it.
Oh, it's no. There was a 10:30 p.m. show
that night.
The day you were leaving.
Oh, the day I was leaving.
So,
yeah. So. Yes. I was already home. I was home 5 hours prior to that. We left in mid-afternoon.
Yeah. And Grandma over here was not ready for a 10:30 p.m. show.
Oh,
gosh.
Like,
this is a lot.
No,
this is a lot.
Yeah. Is it because it's supposed to snow this weekend where you are, right?
It's supposed to. If it's not going to snow, it's going to be like 20 degrees on Halloween, basically.
Oh my God! Like my boss and I were like, we were both like, oh, thank God we're getting out of here before. Yeah, all of that
before the cold snap, for sure. Well, speaking of Halloween and All Hallows Eve, this episode will drop a week afterwards. But happy birthday!
Thank you, Patrick. It is Halloween weekend, and it is like
that's right,
birthday weekend.
It's true, but in the space time continuum that is podcasting, your birthday has already happened. So how was it? How was your birthday, JT?
Let's just go ahead and say it was fantastic.
Good.
It was a delightful Hell Night. I was born on Hell Night. Tweedles, if you don't know that the night before Halloween is my birthday, but it is better known as Hell Night.
It's true. It's true.
So every year on my birthday, my friend Lee, who is a listener of the podcast, so he's probably listening to this episode, Lee always writes on my birthday card every year to America's favorite Hell Night baby.
Aw. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no, but I'm sure it was, you know what? We'll just say it was a great birthday.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah. I turned 21.
You did indeed. Absolutely.
I can drink now.
That's right. And the day after your birthday, our dear friend Justin, who went on the Galactic Star Cruiser with me, is his birthday is on Halloween.
Gosh.
So happy
birthday, Justin! You know what? Somebody told me, I was actually on the phone with my bank the other day, and the guy that answered the phone was like, he was like, because you have to give your birth date to confirm, right, your identity and all that. He's like, what a great birthday. And I'm like, it's like, sure. I was like, yes.
Okay.
But like Halloween, around, it is a great birthday because you have an easy built-in like theme to do a party. You can do a costume party.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I mean, a lot of people have feelings about birthday and holidays being combined into one. But yeah, Halloween I feel like would be a better one. In my opinion, I don't have a birthday on Halloween, but because you're right. Parties are already sort of built into everyone's agenda, and so like, oh, cool, yeah, absolutely, a party is a party. Mine's on Thanksgiving usually, and so that's not so much a party.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes, but it gives a reason for people to say how thankful they are for you, Patrick.
Oh, you're so right. Ugh.
And you and Melanie are very similar in that way. Melanie, our former guest on the podcast and listener,
former never again guest,
former friend, former guest. No, she's listening to this and probably having a heart attack. No, never.
Wait, when's Melanie's birthday?
Melanie is on the. It's actually on Thanksgiving this year. It is on the...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's on the 24th. Yes, because Thanksgiving's on the... No, wait. Is Thanksgiving on the 23rd or 24th?
I think it's the 23rd. I can't remember.
That's her birthday.
Okay. Got it. That's right. I forgot that she and I have birthdays very close to each other.
Yes. Yeah, she's a Thanksgiving movie. Now, wait, are you Scorpio? No.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. We're in the height of Scorpio season right now.
I can feel it.
You can feel it. Everything just feels a little bit more intense and aggressive.
Yeah, that's right. It's horrifying, the Scorpio season. Well, this has been a birthday episode here on Days GDTD.
Yes. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, but we may as well keep those celebrations going.
Oh, let's do it.
I'm celebrating.
What a
do you want to kick us off?
segue. What a segue. Yes, I would
Thank you.
I would love to kick us off. At Sean Cruz. Sean Cruz, I love this because Sean Cruz is always celebrating, and I celebrate that.
Every time. Yes.
Playing my monthly mahjong night tonight with my queer elders. I love every part of that sentence. I would love a group of queer elders to go play mahjong with. Patrick, have you ever played mahjong?
I've not. I feel like I've played like a dumbed down version of mahjong, not the actual version of it, like the American version of it, which is basically just like flip over some tiles and find a match. But this is not the intense version I imagine he's playing.
Right. I mean, I have never played it. I have seen it played very classily by Michelle Yeoh in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
But I have never played it myself. But it sounds.
Is that officially mahjong that they're playing in that? I actually don't know. It is. Okay, I didn't know that. Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing, Sean Cruz. Hopefully your queer elders will enjoy being referred to as queer elders. If not, you've got some explaining to do.
Yes.
Moving on, we have at Jedi Trousers celebrating just keeping it together. I mean, keep it simple. I like it.
Sometimes that's what we celebrate.
Amen. Amen to that.
Yeah. Some days I can't even do that. At Stevenberg 83, going on my first Disney cruise.
Ooh, very exciting. Which ship are you going on, and when are you going?
What ports are you going to?
Ooh, do you have an estate room? Is that what it's called? An estate room or a state room?
A state room.
I have no idea. I have not allowed on cruise ships so much that I don't know the terms.
Did you make reservations at Paolo? Is Paolo on the ship? Again, we're back to not getting any information from our Tweedles.
So many questions. Yeah. But we hope you're having a wonderful time, or are going to have a wonderful time, or
wherever you are.
Wonderful time. Yeah, I don't know where you are on this journey, but thank you for letting us know. Moving on, we have at run.dive.jwr celebrating mental health on an upswing. No clue for how long, but I'll take it. Take every moment you can of being on the upswing, and there's nothing wrong with being on the downswing as well. Embrace that as well. Yep.
At PJW, at WDW, boyfriend finally coming home from medical leave.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
That's lovely. We're so glad he's feeling better.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully that continues. That upswing continues.
Welcome home. Moving on, we have at Mark Runs Disney celebrating Disney trip with an exclamation point. Wine and dine with family, friends, and Patrick. Apparently, I'm neither family nor friend. I'm my own category. Obsessed. I'm obsessed with that.
That's amazing. Family here, friends over here. Patrick, you go over there.
Yeah, it's like at a wedding. Family, friends, Patrick.
What is the Patrick side of this way?
It's just other. Everything
just
else.
Other.
Coworker, maybe
the kids table.
HR representatives. Yeah.
Oh gosh, HR representative. Oh, I love it. Family, friends, and Patrick. I wish there was a ... in between friends and the end. Yeah.
For sure.
At Steveachu, the arrival of my new nephew, and of course, Halloween.
Ooh, congratulations. Happy birthday, literally, to your new nephew.
Yeah, yes.
And we hope you're all having a wonderful Halloween weekend.
That baby's stealing my birthday thunder.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, but not quite on Halloween, because you're very special the day before Halloween. So this baby came way too early.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Do you know what this means? Isn't this also at Sisachu's new nephew?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Is it Sisachu? Is it your baby Sisachu? Or is it a different? We need more information. Baby Achu is now here with us.
What is Baby Chu's name?
Baby Chu's name. We need to know your Nefachu and your Sisachu. I hope they're all doing well.
Patrick, what are you celebrating?
That's a great question. I am, you know
Besides
what? I'm also
me.
celebrating, besides you and your birthday and Justin's birthday and this
Right.
new baby from from Nefachu. Well, I am, the reason we're recording early behind the scenes, everybody, is because I am heading to Walt Disney World to run the Wine and Dine 2-course challenge. So I'm celebrating, hopefully completing the 2-course challenge without feeling too terrible.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Patrick completed the 2-course challenge over the weekend.
Thank you so much. What about you? What are you celebrating, JT?
I am celebrating getting to see you this past week.
Me too. I should have said that. I'm sorry. That was a terrible answer
That's
on
fine.
my part.
I'm just a better person than you, so
You are indeed.
No.
You are indeed. Well, speaking of having seen you this past weekend, I totally forgot to bring you your Gaze to the D 5-year 5K medal, so I have to ship it out to you, unfortunately. But what a great segue. We are still in the midst of celebrating our 5 years with a 5-year 5K virtual run that anybody can participate as long as you head on over to gazetothed.com and click on the 5K tab where you can register to run our 5K, and you'll be shipped a medal that has been created just for us celebrating this specific year. It says 5 years, 5K on it, and all of the proceeds are benefiting the Trevor Project. So you really have no reason not to do this. Am I right?
I mean, yeah. You could really just sit and count up to 5,000 if you wanted to on the couch, and we'd give you a medal, right?
I mean, you don't even have to do this as long as you register for it. We celebrate you, and we celebrate the Trevor Project.
The Trevor Project's got your money. We don't care what you do.
Absolutely. I have enjoyed a lot of our tweetles have been sending in pictures of them completing their 5K and flashing those lovely medals. Keep those pictures coming. And at the end of the year, we are going to select one of our participants to win another extra special Gaze to the gift. So stay tuned for that.
And Patrick, you can just take the shipping costs for my medal out of my salary.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I will.
Yeah, and also a second place winner, everyone, is going to win a private performance of Patrick singing "Run to You" from The Bodyguard.
You know what? I'll do it. If it gets people to sign up, I will do that.
Let's be honest, there's not much we wouldn't do to get people to sign up, right?
Run to you. It's a little tease.
Yeah.
So yes, please head on over to gazetothed.com and click on that 5K button and register for this once in a lifetime 5-year 5K medal. And speaking of going to our website, we also have a Patreon page over there as well. And we have a new Patreon member to celebrate, JT. What a great day. It's just the blessed be.
Come on. I mean,
under Mickey's eye. You know what I mean?
Under Mickey's eye. Oh, gosh.
So welcome.
Duck.
Yes, blessed be the duck. Oh, we're in trouble now. Okay, so welcome to our Patreon family, Ambrose. I love that name.
Ooh, Ambrose Kemper.
Obsessed with Ambrose, and I'm obsessed with you for even more reasons now because you are a member of our Patreon family. JT, do you know the spiel? Do you want me to do it, or are you up to the occasion?
You know what? I'm going to let you do it.
Okay. Thank you. What a gift.
I just want to hear your dulcet tones in my ear more.
Thank you so much. So for those of you who don't know, we do indeed have a Patreon membership that you too can be a part of for as little as $1 reoccurring a month. All you have to do is head on over to, once again, gazetothed.com, click on that donate button, and you too are magically invited into our family of Patreon members where you'll get extra special episodes of Gaze to the D called Gaze to the D Raw and Uncut, which we owe you several many episodes. We have been lacking on that. But they are coming, I promise you. You also get invited to Zoom happy hours, the happiest hour on earth, where we just...
When we have them.
Where we sit and chat with our tweedles. The giveaways happen. We drink. We get silly. It's a lovely, lovely time. Stay tuned. There will be one in November. I promise you that. It'll be our Friendsgiving happiest hour on Zoom. So stay tuned for that. And of course, when you are a Patreon member, you automatically get entered into any drawing we do. And sometimes you get entered into an exclusive Patreon member drawing, so you have even better chances of winning said prize. All right. I think I got through everything.
Great job.
When
great
it comes
job.
to that, thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you to Ambrose.
Thank you, Ambrose.
Ambrose, do you think he's ever won a polka dancing competition at the Harmonia Gardens?
I do. In fact, I do. I do believe that is the case.
Do you think Ambrose is currently wearing his Sunday clothes?
I mean, if not, I'm still okay with it.
Do you think that Ambrose is someone who would never let the parade pass him by?
I truly believe that the parade will never pass Ambrose by.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Do you think that Ambrose puts his hand in there?
Oh, my stars. Do you think we've lost all of our Tweedles just now?
I think our Tweedles are saying so long, dearie, right now.
You're going to go on for far too long with this, so I'm going to move us along in the episode, JT.
That is technically a Disney property now.
We've already surpassed our goal of keeping the banter down to 20 minutes, so we have to move on. Which means we are moving on. Are you ready, JT, for this week in Disney history?
Oh, you know I am.
Oh, good. Okay, I have 2 quizzes for you. Are you ready for the quizzes?
Yes.
Great.
Pencils
okay. That's right. So the first one is 14 years old, JT. On November 6th, 2009, this movie, written and directed by Robert Zemeckis, made its premiere. It was Jim Carrey's first and I believe only role in a Disney movie. Do you know that movie?
It is A Christmas Carol.
Ding, ding, ding. You're right. It is A Christmas Carol. I always forget that that's a Disney movie because it does not seem like one.
I always seem like one. Yeah, I kind of want to forget it's a movie, period. But,
it's not bad. It's just an interesting movie for Disney, for sure.
I think my issue is the only time I saw it was at IMAX 3D, and I can't really see 3D.
Fair. Okay.
So it was a weird image through the glasses for a good 2 hours.
Makes sense. Well, to that point, A Christmas Carol, it used a process called performance capture in addition to using 3D effects. And Zemeckis previously used this technique in The Polar Express.
Love The Polar Express.
Such a good movie. Such a great, beautiful. I wish that was a Disney movie, actually.
Yes, I wish that too.
We can't claim it. Okay, moving on to test number 2. Okay. Are you ready? On November 7th, 1872, so 151 years ago, Lucille Laverne was born in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, Laverne was known for her sarcastic, cunning, and vengeful roles. She lent her voice to 2 silly symphonies, Babes in the Woods and Father Noah's Ark, before going on to voice one of the most famous Disney characters of all time. Do you know that character?
Ooh. I am going to say that it is... What were the words you used to describe her as being known as?
Known for, rather. That's right. Sarcastic, cunning, and vengeful.
And one of the most famous characters of all time.
That's right.
Is it the Queen in Snow White?
It is the evil queen in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Now, interestingly, this would be Laverne's final film role, unfortunately, but one of
with a bang.
That's right, the most well-known role that she would play. And a fun fact, I loved learning about this. So to emphasize the difference in characters between the evil queen and the hag, because she did voice both of them, Laverne took out her false teeth to voice the hag. I love that. I love knowing that.
Amazing.
Yes.
Do you know how the hag is like at the very end of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train? Every time I pass by there, it always makes me think like Avon calling.
And everyone's busy. No one's answering the door. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
They needed a no solicitation note on the door.
Yes,
that's what they needed. None of this would have happened. So thus concludes, JT, this week in Disney history.
Pencils down.
Well done, everybody. Put your pencils down. Okay, one more thing to get through. Not get through, because we're very excited about it before Before we move on to the news, in an upcoming episode before the end of the year, we are once again, of course, bringing back Chris from Wishful Thinking to tell us all about what to expect in 2024 in the Disney parks. And he will be here to answer all of your questions as well. So we want you to send us your questions for Chris from Wishful Thinking. If you have not been privy to an episode with Chris, he is a travel agent who is specifically equipped to book your Disney vacation. So from soup to nuts, he can book your hotel stays, your parks passes, your extra special events that you may be attending. He does it all for you at no cost to you. It would cost exactly the same as if you were doing it on your own. However, Chris can usually get you some pretty deep discounts as well. So it behooves you to work with Chris from Wishful Thinking.
He will even go on the trip for you.
He will take your vacation for you if you need. Absolutely. Absolutely. So send us those questions for Chris from Wishful Thinking, and we will be sure to ask them on an upcoming episode. All right. I've been talking for 78 days. Are we ready to move on, JT?
I've already moved on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. JT's no longer with us.
This just in, Patrick.
I like that you're doing that as though there wasn't already music just before this as well.
Right.
We're keeping it.
Well, I feel like, Kale's got the copyright on the news, talking about news. So I have to come up with my own special thing.
You are your own special thing, JT. Don't worry.
Boy,
don't you worry.
That's true. No, Patrick, we do have a couple of fun little tidbits. We have some news and rumors. Wars and rumors of wars.
Hey.
No. First up, Patrick, are you ready for some fractal frenzy? Because I
Would you call me? Welcome to the stage, Fractal Frenzy, everybody.
Prior to tonight's performance, I wish I could say I can't even talk. I wish I could say I made up Fractal Frenzy, but I didn't. It is something that was on the Parks blog.
Fair.
But get ready for some Fractal Frenzy because there is a new Frozen holiday surprise show at Magic Kingdom Park. Are you ready for that?
I'm so ready.
Well, listen, join Olaf and more than 100 of his Snowgy siblings as they decorate Cinderella Castle with festive touches. Appearing live on stage in new holiday looks are Anna, Elsa, Olaf, and Kristoff, and they're each bringing something to this party. They always bring it to the party. They bring it to you every ball.
They bring it to every ball.
The festivities will culminate as Elsa adds sparkling finishing touches, transforming Cinderella Castle into a shimmering, crystallized palace, a look that will remain throughout the evening. This is brought to you by a whole slew of lighting designers, video technicians, composers, and a full orchestra worked on the soundtrack for this show. It is debuting November 7th, and it will occur nightly throughout the holiday season.
Very fun. I love this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
They are replacing, right, the hanging lights that they usually put on the castle with LED lights. Is that right?
Yes. They're not doing the hanging lights anymore, the dream lights or whatever they were called.
Yeah. Or, I mean, not LED, but I mean they're projections basically.
Oh, yes. It looks like it's projections. Which, how do you feel about that?
I really liked the look of the hanging lights. I think it's really beautiful. But if I'm correct in assuming this, it does mean that we won't have that hideous crane in the background for like half of a year trying to remove and install all of those lights. So I like it.
I do too. And in the daylight, it just, when they're not lit, it just looks like a bunch of strings hanging on the castle.
It does. It does. Yeah.
No, this is cool. This is exciting.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, that'll be fun. I haven't, full disclosure, I haven't ever even seen the original Frozen Holiday Surprise. So this will be a new surprise for me for many reasons.
Surprise.
And I probably still won't see it this year, unfortunately. I've never been to Walt Disney World during the holidays.
I actually haven't. I've been on the periphery. Like I've literally been there where they do the like you're there one night and it's like Halloween, and then literally you go the next morning and it's like Christmas.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I've been like right after New Year's when everything's
I've
still
been there
up,
for that.
and
Yeah.
it kind of feels like it's the guest that's worn their welcome out at the party.
Yes. It's like, I'm ready for you to leave now. Bye.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I have a rumor for your nerves, JT. Are you ready?
My nerves are ready.
Okay, great. Because
Taking a sip of this coffee.
There we go. Rumor has it that the dining app will soon be making some changes within My Disney Experience. And again, this is just sources are saying this, but it feels like it's probably going to happen. So 2 new upgrades, which I think are pretty exciting if they actually happen, is that you'll now be able to set some availability alerts within the Disney dining app. So if you're hoping to get a space at Oga's Cantina and nothing's available, you can set an option. You'll be able to set an option where the app will tell you if something becomes available within a time frame that you're looking for. It won't make the reservation for you, but it'll let you know that it's available so you can go in and try to snag that reservation. Kind of cool. I'm surprised they hadn't been doing this before, to be very honest.
I am too. It's a pretty brilliant idea. I know there's other services, or there's at least one other that do this, and it is super helpful. But it'll be great to have it like in the app, so you can just go from that directly to make the reservation in the same app.
Very that. And then the second update that rumor has it will be happening is that instead of just searching for very specific times and dates and places to eat, so right now in the app, if you wanted to grab a dinner reservation at, I'm making it up, Rose and Crown, you can only search for a very specific time. You say Monday at dinner time, and that's the search. Mm-hmm. Now, with the upgrade, hopefully, if it happens, you'll be able to do a date range search, which means that you can say, I want to eat at Rose and Crown while I'm on my vacation. So anytime between the 8th and the 15th, find me what's available, and it'll pull up all of the options that are available within that range, which is pretty cool. Again, I can't believe they weren't doing this before, but seems like they now finally have the technology to make your dining life a lot easier at Walt Disney World.
I think that's like a great positive addition to that godforsaken sometimes app.
Absolutely. Most of the updates they've been making are like, no one cares about that. But this one, everyone's going to care about this because it is impossible to find a dinner reservation these days using the app. It's a nightmare. So hopefully this will clean some of that up.
That's a rumor I can use.
Indeed.
Rumor has it.
Rumor had it.
Well, Patrick, if you're going to be on the Disney Treasure anytime soon, you best start believing in ghost stories. Because you're going to be in one, and that is not the movie that I'm about to talk about. But
nope, I was like, wait, that's a different quote, isn't it?
But it's a ghost adjacent.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Happy haunts will soon be materializing on the high seas at the Haunted Mansion Parlor. This is the world's very first ever sanctioned Haunted Mansion inspired bar, and it's going to be on Disney Cruise Line's newest ship, the Disney Treasure. This will have inspired craft cocktails, exclusive onboard merchandise, nostalgic decor, beloved characters. This will immerse you in the next chapter of the Haunted Mansion saga and bring the lore to life like you've never seen it before.
Oh.
This, and I quote, one-of-a-kind experience will be a swinging wake unlike any other, that of a jovial captain who entered the ghostly realm after a disastrous dinner with his beloved fiancée. The design will resemble a first-class drawing room of a classic cruise liner from the Golden Age. It'll have inspiration from the original Haunted Mansion, but with a nautical twist. There will also be nostalgic tributes to Haunted Mansion attractions around the world. There will, of course, be the iconic wallpaper, the distinct purple armchair. There will also be a few legendary characters from the Haunted Mansion attraction, as well as some new seafaring arrivals and a portrait gallery depicting the Disney Treasure's own ghostly residents. There were all some of the some of the Haunted Mansion inspired merchandise includes the Haunted Mansion parlor music box, which is a little keepsake that will be found inside the Haunted Mansion parlor. Also, the Haunted Mansion parlor clock and the Haunted Mansion parlor mirror. Moving on to the arguably most important part of a of a lounge are the cocktails. These cocktails look absolutely incredible, Patrick. There is one called the Sympathetic Libations, which is actually a 0 proof cocktail if you are looking for a mocktail. Mm-hmm. This will have a sour cherry and blood orange vibe going on in a specialty tiki mug. Mm-hmm. There is also a ghoulish delight with decadent ubi fudge, oat milk, and tapioca pearls, and garnished with a gummy eyeball. Mm. There will also be a signature beverage that's going to be a ghostly twist on a classic margarita.
Oh, okay.
That will be presented to you amid a swirl of flavored smoke.
Ooh.
topped with lemon salt foam. Mm-hmm. It will also contain a secret message only to be revealed by black light.
I don't know why this sounds hilarious to me.
I know. And Patrick, this is super exciting. This is only one of several Disney parks inspired venues that are going to be on the Disney Treasure, because there's also the Skipper Society, which is the Jungle Cruise Lounge, and the Periscope Pub, which is inspired by 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I want to go on the Treasure right now.
Absolutely. Run, don't walk to the Disney Treasure, because it sounds like it's going to be an absolute party over there.
I'm going to run several GDTD 5Ks all the way to Cape Canaveral.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited about these sort of like Disney leaning into haunting venues as well with this, and the Pirates of the Caribbean Lounge is going to be in the Magic Kingdom. Yeah. I think I feel like they're finally getting the message that the adults are wanting more of this to happen within the parks and within in the ships and all that stuff. And hopefully this is them telling us, yes, we will be getting a villains area in one of the parks at least. I'm hoping that's what all this means, but you never know. You never know. Very exciting.
Don't forget to bring your birth certificate to prove your age.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get a drink on the Disney Treasure. You're going to need it. JT, I have to tell you, I am very excited about this main segment to record with you because, one, it is a topic we have not covered in, it seems like, 5 or 6 years, even though we've only been around for 5 years, but it seems like longer. And two, because I know that you're going to bring it today. I know that you are.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure to live up to, Patrick, but I mean, I am a legendary legend, so when it comes to Disney history, so... Not to toot my own... I wouldn't toot my own horn like that. You know I'm teasing.
You should. You should absolutely toot your own horn. Let's say toot one more time.
Toot.
Toot. There we go. Thank you so much. But if you haven't guessed by the title alone of our podcast today, we are, in fact, going back to On the DL, where we talk about Disney legends. Yes. This is something that you and Melanie actually covered on your podcast almost every time, though, didn't you? You incorporated a Disney legend into most episodes.
Yeah, we did a little segment called Legends Corner.
That's right, yeah.
Where we would feature a different Disney legend every episode. And sometimes it would tie in with what we were talking about elsewhere in the episode. Sometimes it wouldn't. But I mean, there are so many Disney legends. It's like were like, we'll never run out of people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they add 10 more every 2 years. So you'll literally never run out of people.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, it's like I love talking about Disney legends.
Same.
So I'm very excited to get on the DL today.
Oh, hey. It's true. It's very true. And I should explain, when I say your podcast, this is also your podcast, but I meant the Disney Buzz instead.
Yes, the other podcast that is apparently on ice right now because we have not recorded. If you follow the other podcast, the Disney Buzz, you'll notice that we have not recorded in over a year.
Has it been over a year already?
Yes, it's been more than a year, which is really really sad. So I'm sure we'll get another episode out there at some point. We're busy.
It's true. It's very very true.
And Melanie has a man in her life now, and she has no time for me anymore. And
Yeah, I understand. Melanie is booked and blessed. So
she's booked and blessed.
Good for her. But back to us, JT.
Back to let's talk about back to me.
So we try to do
move. We're gay.
That's right. Move. We try to do a specific category for the Disney Legends topics, and this category is all about music. So this category is music. Bring it to the runway. So we're talking about anyone who had anything to do musically with a Walt Disney Company within the last 100 years, I guess.
I mean, because I feel like music is one of the things that like really initially connects people to Disney, right? Because like before you've even maybe seen a Disney movie, you've probably heard a Disney song or some kind of piece of Disney music. It's kind of inescapable.
It's true. I mean, almost every Disney song is iconic to somebody out there, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You have a history with Disney music, whether you know it or not. Well, most people do. I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but it is it's a stronghold within Disney. Like it is connected to the stories, the music, whether or not it's a musical. The music behind every Disney movie is very specific to that movie, and you can almost always immediately pick it out in a crowd for sure.
Yeah, Disney content is not, and content's such a businessy word, but like Disney is not Disney in really any capacity without the music.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So tied. It's so connected and
integral to
right?
it's integral to the story and to the company itself, and it's just great. I mean, and who doesn't let's break it down to even the whistle that Mickey does in Steamboat Willie. Like everybody knows that when you hear it, it's like, oh, it's Mickey Mouse. I know that Mickey Mouse is about to appear. I love it. Okay, so what do you say? Let's just jump into it. We both have two Disney legends to talk about in the category of music. I'll start with my first one. JT, are you ready?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. I am presenting to you Salvador Caramata. Salvador Caramata. What a lovely name. Amazing name.
Also, I think I had that dish at a restaurant last night.
Maybe you have. Salvador was also known as Tutti Caramata. You'll maybe understand why in just a bit. But Salvador Caramata was born in May 1913 in Glen Ridge, New Jersey. He took to music at a very early age and went on to study music at Juilliard. So he started his career as a trumpet player, which is where the nickname Tutti came around for Caramata. No, he was not involved in the facts of life, as you may have mentioned before.
Girls.
So yes, he started his career as a trumpet player, and he worked with the likes of Jimmy and Tommy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Louis Armstrong, Bing Crosby, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, and Nancy Sinatra, just to name a few iconic names in music history. Caramata was attached to all of them. So you've definitely, if you've ever heard any of their records, you've heard Caramata playing the trumpet in the background, or he had something to do with recording the album itself. So moving on, in 1944, Caramata was brought to London to write the score for a film called London Town. Just as a side note, I did a wee bit of research on this movie called London Town, and it is widely known as one of the biggest flops in European history. This movie, London Town. So
legendary, you might say.
Legendary. But during his time in London, Caramata became close friends with Sir Edward Lewis, who at the time was the CEO of Decca Records. The two of them founded London Records, which was a subsidiary, that's hard to say, a subsidiary, wow, Patrick, pull it together, of Decca Records. Now, London Records had the intent of distributing classical music from the UK into the United States. Now, in his time at London Records, Caramata performed on and orchestrated a number of classical albums, including working on re-recordings of the works of Puccini, Verdi, Bach, and Tchaikovsky, again, just to name a few. He also, during that time, joined the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers in 1948. So fast forward to 1956. How does this tie to Disney? Here's where. Walt Disney in 1956 decided to create their own record company called Disneyland Records at the time, now known as Walt Disney Records. So Disney hired Karamata to help form this company. As they were creating the record company, Karamata pitched to Walt Disney himself that he also create and build a Disney-owned recording studio to house the Disneyland Records. Instead, Disney turned it on Karamata and said that he should actually have his own studio that Disney could then use and rent out. So in 1958, Karamata purchased the first building, which was an auto repair shop on Sunset Boulevard that would become Sunset Sound Records. Over the next 16 years, Sunset Sound Records and Disneyland Records recorded albums for previous Disney movies, including Bambi, Snow White, and Cinderella, and then would record for newer Disney movies as they were being made, like Bedknobs and Broomsticks and Mary Poppins. In fact, it was Karamata who brought in and introduced Disney to the Sherman Brothers, incidentally. I know. I mean, this story is wild. I had no idea. Wow. There could be a documentary behind this fella. Very, very, very cool. Over the years, Karamata would record with basically every single top artist in the world, including Elton John, Prince, Janis Joplin, the Rolling Stones, and the Doors, again, just to name a few. Over 200 gold records were recorded at Sunset Sound Records, and Disney still uses it today. In fact, Idina Menzel recorded her vocal tracks for Frozen at Sunset Sound Records, which is very cool. In 1981, Karamata then went on to purchase the Sound Factory, which alongside Sunset Sound is one of the top recording studios in Hollywood and really in the world. Just a short list of the artists who have recorded there include Ringo Starr, Elvis Costello, Neil Diamond, Danny Elfman, Van Halen, and Dolly Parton. Again, just to name a few. That's right. Karamata's final project would be an album called The Power and the Glory, which he worked on for over 4 years, which he would call his most important work ever. He was honored as a Disney legend in 2003, and he would pass away at the age of 91 in 2005. And that is the story of Salvador Tutti Karamata.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing?
You can make a movie about this guy's life.
100%. Just reading that alone, I was like, I'm inspired to make a musical, even a stage musical about
oh my
him.
gosh.
It
you could just
incredible.
call it Tootie exclamation point.
Tootie. Not to be confused with Tootsie, the musical.
Right, yeah.
No, but what an incredible, just a genius from day one, and everyone wanted to work with him, and everyone did basically work with Salvador Karamata. And I believe one of his kin now runs, I believe, Sunset Sound Records.
That's amazing. I mean, I feel like when you're given a name like Salvador Camarata at birth, like the pressure to live up to that name has got to be.
It's an intense name. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like I've got to really make something of myself here.
And he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
No, that's wow. I am like, and I didn't know. Like I've known that name, Tutti Camarata, and but I didn't know that Tutti was from him playing the trumpet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is very cool. And imagine though the scene in the movie that we're gonna make of just all you have to do is just that one scene, and then you never have to see them again. Of like, Mr. Disney, I would like to introduce you to the Sherman Brothers, and then like all it has to be. Like,
could you imagine?
How impactful would that be to people who know? You know.
I mean, honestly, he could be a Disney legend for that alone. Introducing Walt Disney to the Sherman Brothers
between the two of them. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. That's just insane to me. That if he had not been there, what could be, right?
You're not wrong in that if he had not built that sound studio, if he hadn't been introduced to Disney, all of the steps in his life led up to just this amazing works.
And what year did you say he became a Disney legend?
In 2003. So just before
2003.
Just before he passed away.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah. I love doing these episodes. I'm already excited to hear what you're going to do because these stories are just so interesting and no one really digs into them because once they're a Disney legend, they sort of get forgotten. And I love that we sort of bring them to the surface for our Tweedles.
Do you have from your research about him? Do you have like a favorite? There's certain things, right, that make you become Disney legends, whether it's like a movie you work on or whatever. Do you have like a favorite thing that he did that sort of is one of the things that made him a Disney legend.
Good question. I mean, I think just the fact that he helped build the Disneyland Records, which is now Walt Disney Records, I think that that alone is just like, it's such an iconic record company, you know, and you don't you don't think of Disney as being a record company, but they are in fact a recording company that produces all of this amazing, incredible music, and how many artists have really come into their own because of these recording studios that Disney created and that Karamata helped create.
Yeah, I mean, and like the time that he was, you know, really cooking, I mean, Disneyland Records was putting out all kinds of albums. I mean, it wasn't just
everything.
It wasn't just like music of the Disney park. I mean, they were putting out all kinds of things.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
right, you know,
audio recordings of like the book recordings of the Disney movies, the little children's books that they had audio attachments to. Yeah, everything.
Like do turn the page. You know?
Exactly.
Like,
that.
I mean,
yeah, just everything that you can think of, and then also recording things for the parks as well. They happen there. At the studios.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. All right. Who do you have up first for us, JT?
I actually have someone that's sort of in a similar vein to what to Tutti Camarata.
Love it. So
my Disney legend, first Disney legend, is Irwin Kostal. Irwin Kostal is an award-winning conductor and orchestrator. He was born October 1st, 1911 in Chicago, Illinois. He discovered music as a young boy. He learned when he learned to play the piano. So he was, of course, naturally, I mean, he just was drawn towards music. His very first professional gig was as a staff arranger for a Chicago-based NBC radio show called Design for Listening. He eventually moved to New York, and when he moved to New York, he began arranging music for Sid Caesar's television series Your Show of Shows. That was like a very popular show in the huge show in the 1950s. And he would go on to conduct for the Gary Moore Show, which was another talk show that was, I think, based out of New York. He did a lot of TV work. He would actually later receive Emmy Award nominations for his work on the Julie Andrews Show and for an adaptation of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde that starred Kirk Douglas. During the 1960s, he transitioned to Broadway and became one of Broadway's most important orchestrators. And you have definitely heard some of his orchestration work because he orchestrated the original stage versions of West Side Story.
Oh, wow.
And A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. He also, some of his additional Broadway credits also include Gigi in 1973, the stage adaptation of Gigi, the musical Copperfield in 1981, and a revival of Seven Brides for Seven Brothers in 1982. His orchestration work for West Side Story on Broadway also got him the job of doing the same thing for the film version of West Side Story.
Okay, nice. That makes sense.
In 1961. He also arranged music for the television special Julie and Carol at Carnegie Hall, which starred Julie Andrews and Carol Burnett. Pretty cool, right? His work on West Side Story and Funny Thing Happened with the Forum eventually brought him to Hollywood, as so many before him, to specifically work on orchestrating the music for none other than Mary Poppins.
Amazing.
Yes. And he really worked a lot with Julie Andrews because he also orchestrated and conducted the orchestra for the film adaptation of The Sound of Music.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In 1965. Yeah. Some other notable film credits include his orchestrations on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Charlotte's Web. Funnily enough, both of those movies also reunited him with who we just spoke about with your Disney legend, the Sherman Brothers and fellow Disney legends. He would actually come back to the Disney Studios in 1983, and he composed and conducted the music for Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh, I love that.
Which is iconic.
Yeah.
Some of his other film credits include Half a Sixpence, The Bluebird, The Magic of Lassie, the re-release of Fantasia, where they re-recorded some music, and two more very iconic Disney credits along with Mary Poppins, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and Pete's Dragon.
Oh, wow. Yeah, absolutely.
Irwin Kostal has speaking of the Fantasia re-record, Irwin Kostal has a quote that I love. So this is from the Disney Legends page about him. Sure. It says he was quick to speak his mind and often layered within a joke. He would demonstrate a high standard in preserving the artistry and integrity of music. In 1982, while conducting the re-recording of music for Fantasia, which was originally conducted by Leopold Stokowski, Irwin quipped, "I'm not just wearing a Stokowski straitjacket, I'm also wearing Mickey Mouse's." He did win 2 Academy Awards for orchestrating and supervising the music for West Side Story and for The Sound of Music. He was nominated for his work on all 3 of the Disney films that he did, including that he orchestrated the music for, including Mary Poppins, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and Pete's Dragon, although he did not win Oscars for those. He won actually for West Side Story and The Sound of Music, which both had the same film director, Robert Wise.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. His Academy Award nominations were for Best Scoring of Music for Mary Poppins, like I said, Best Original Song Score and Adaptation for Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and then he was nominated for Best Original Score for Pete's Dragon. Nice. He passed away of a heart attack in 1994, November 23rd, 1994, in Studio City, California, while serving as president of ASCAP. That's the American Society of Music Arrangers and Composers. And if you're not aware, that's the performing rights organization that ensures that songwriters get paid when their music is performed and played everywhere.
Absolutely.
That is Irwin Kostal.
Which Camerata was a part of. Absolutely. But he joined that long ago, in 1948. Yes. So, yeah, very cool. I love that. And I love that these two people definitely crossed over. My first legend and your first legend, like, absolutely worked together for Bedknobs and Broomsticks and Mary Poppins and probably Pete's Dragon as well.
And I think you and I probably picked I don't want to speak for you, but like one of the reasons I picked Irwin Kostal, and probably one of the reasons you picked Tutti Camerata is because these may not be household names, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But they're integral to like you've heard their music, like you've heard their influence, like even if you don't know their name, they are responsible for a lot of things that you love, right?
Yeah.
They're very much behind the scenes people, but no less important than the people that are in front of the camera or in front of the microphone.
And I love that. I love that they do get recognized within Disney and here on the podcast as well, because you're right. These behind the scenes people are responsible for the in front of the scenes people that you do know. Their glory is because of artists like this. You know, all the workers behind the scene, the people who are composing or even just doing sound technician or things like that, that you, like you said, are not a household name, but they are responsible for the household names that you know.
And I forgot to mention, he was inducted as a Disney legend in just a year after Tutti Camerata in 2004.
Got it. So posthumously, he was given the award. Yeah. All right.
It's like so many before him.
Oh, yeah. Very, very, very many. Well, so speaking of people who are in front of the scenes, I think you and I both chose people who are
we did.
in front of it. Although mine isn't necessarily a household name, but you definitely know who she is. Should we move on to our next Disney legends?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
All right. I love this woman's name. Her name is Jacqueline Ruth Woods.
Ooh.
Otherwise known as Eileen Woods. I would have gone with Jacqueline, though. Like, why would you?
I think I would have too.
Go with Jacqueline, but here we are. So Eileen Woods. So Woods was born.
Come on, Eileen.
Was born in 1929. Now, it is not known, interestingly, exactly where she was born, but I'm going to assume
she appeared fully formed.
She was just there. I'm going to assume in California based on her background, though. So, as a child, her mother actually worked on film sets behind the scenes and would often take Woods with her. Interestingly, Woods had high hopes and dreams of becoming a teacher, but her mother wanted her to pursue singing. That age-old story where the mom wants you to be an actor and
sing out, Louise,
and the kid wants to be a teacher. That's never really happened. But Eileen Woods did, in fact, end up going with her mother's dreams for her and followed a career in performance. So in 1944, she was featured on radio programs and she toured during World War II with Paul Whitman and the Army Air Forces Orchestra. In 1948, two of her friends, Mac David and Jerry Livingston, asked Woods to come to Disney and record demo versions of some songs for a little movie project called Cinderella. She recorded early versions of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes, and So This Is Love. The songs were sent to Walt Disney to approve, and the following day, Woods was asked to voice the role of Cinderella in the movie. Now, hundreds of other women had actively auditioned for the role of Cinderella, none of whom were Eileen Woods. She was given the role on a whim. She was
offer only.
Exactly. She was doing a favor for Mac David and Jerry Livingston, who wrote the music for Cinderella, and lo and behold, Disney loved her so much that he gave her the role right then and there. Which there's so many stories of that with Walt Disney just being like, I see something in you. I hear something in you. We're going to put you in the film, kid. You know, he just did that all the time. It was amazing.
He was the original, like Ariana Grande, like, I see it, I bought it.
If I've said that once, I've said it 1,000 times. Walt Disney and Ariana Grande, same.
This voice, you like it? Gee, thanks. Just bought it.
They're the same. They're really the same. Very comparable. Oh, absolutely. So, all right, moving on. So to promote the film Cinderella, Disney then also had Woods voice Snow White for the 1949 audiobook release of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was very likely worked on by Salvador Caramata. So just a fun fact. Very, very interesting the way all these stories sort of intertwine. Now, Cinderella would be the only role that Woods would play for a Disney movie. An interesting bit of hot goss for all of you. Oh. In the 1990s, when Disney began releasing video cassette versions of films, how do we explain what a video cassette is for our younger Tweedles?
It's almost like a film reel. Wait a minute. No, we have to go. We have to
explain
what a film reel is. It's a big black box that you put in another big black box and a movie plays.
Careful what you're saying there. Okay, so so as I was saying, in the 1990s, so they began releasing video cassette versions of all of their films, and then Woods, then being a very smart woman, became one of a handful of performers who sued Disney for royalties owed to them for their performances.
Eileen.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Eileen. And at the time, Peggy Lee was also in a similar lawsuit, which she won over Lady and the Tramp, which is interesting. This is all very like full circle of like the actors' strike and the writers' strike that's happening now, of like pay people what they're worth and pay people what they did, for sure.
Cut my check.
I mean, listen, so well done to you, Woods. You were a pioneer. And you know, women were not really doing this. You know, they just were like, we are absolutely getting paid, and they did. Thank goodness. It just goes to show you, speak up, speak your voice, speak your truth. Mm-hmm. Wood was made a Disney legend in 2003. She unfortunately passed away from complications of Alzheimer's in July of 2010. I know. A quote from Woods in a 2006 interview, I thought this was appropriate. Woods said, "I love the idea that after I'm gone, children will still be hearing my voice. And boy, are they.
Boy,
I just love that.
Ever.
What an iconic performance. Cinderella, one of the most, like, Cinderella is to Disney as, I don't even know what an analogy is, because it's such a big part of Disney history. Cinderella, I mean, like, the castle is there in Disney World, and you hear Cinderella's voice all the time, and hundreds of remakes have been made of Cinderella in different interpretations, Broadway musical. I mean, Cinderella is where it's at. And
yeah, I mean, I feel like if you say Disney and princess, like Cinderella's at least, if it's not the first one that comes to mind,
Absolutely.
It's in the top 5, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she is so closely associated with Disney. It was the movie that saved the studio in 1950. Mm-hmm. And just her voice, that voice is so iconic. It's so like, I mean, it's like the blueprint for a Disney princess voice, even really more than Snow White, because I feel like the Snow White voice, like no shade to Andrea Castellotti, who voiced Snow White in 1937, but like that voice is very unique and specific. And Eileen Wood's performance is really the Disney princess voice blueprint.
Well, it's a lot more grounded than they were doing before, too.
Yeah.
You know, like it's still that quintessential princess voice, but it's a little bit earthier or ground, and she's not afraid to not be feminine all the time.
Well, and dare I say, a little more sensual.
Well, when she's singing "So This Is Love,"
This Is Love.
That her voice in that is so
my gosh,
so buttery and
I'm like, am I sure I'm gay? No, I've never had that thought before. No, but like it's just so there's like a I think how you put it is perfect. There's a groundedness to her voice.
Well, yeah,
but still very feminine. Yeah, and like it's just iconic. I mean,
and she wasn't afraid to lean into like her. She had a little bit of a lower register for her singing voice,
she did for
and
sure.
She leaned into it, and it sounds amazing and beautiful, and it just works so well.
Oh gosh, she is truly an icon.
Yeah.
Do you think, and it's crazy that was her only Disney vocal performance. I mean, you don't need another one after that, honestly, but you know, do you think Elle Woods and Eileen Woods are related?
I really hope so. In my history, absolutely they are.
Because
same.
You know, Eileen Woods took her legal issues in her own hands, and so did Elle Woods.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest.
Absolutely. The same.
Eileen, you know, probably Eileen even did this before Elle Woods. Like when Cinderella came out on video cassette, and they were like, Eileen, are you sure you want to take this on? And she's like, what? Like it's hard?
Like it's hard? Absolutely. Yeah. Walt Disney, Ariana Grande, Eileen, and Elle Woods. Absolutely.
Woods. I mean,
they're all the same.
Connections are just palpable.
They are indeed.
Wow. Go Eileen.
Come on, Eileen. Well done.
Come on, Eileen.
Well done to you.
Come on, Jacqueline.
I mean, Jacqueline for me. She's going by Jacqueline for now on.
Jacqueline. I love that.
Thank you. And whomst have you brought to the table?
Well, Patrick, we are really ending this on the DL episode with true, iconic, world-shattering, galaxy-redefining, legendary fashion.
Oh dear.
Because
I'm nervous that this is going to be a 30-minute segment now just with legend alone.
I promise it won't be. Okay. I will keep this. I could.
Yes.
But I won't.
Fair enough.
We're ending on the DL today with none other than Dame Angela Bridget Lansbury.
Did you full name her? Oh my stars!
Listen, you got to put some respect on her name.
That's true. Stamp it,
or get it out of your mouth. Because I like this. There are not words to describe Angela Lansbury. I mean, but we'll try. So
yes, we're not going to draw a picture. We're going to use words.
Yeah, we're gonna try. Okay. We're gonna use words. Angela Lansbury was born in London, England, on October 16th, 1925. She began studying acting at the Webber Douglas School of Dramatic Art. Unfortunately, World War II interfered. It forced her family to escape the Blitz, and her family immigrated to the U.S. When they arrived in New York, she enrolled in another dramatic school, the Fagan School of Dramatic Arts. And when she was 16, just 16, she got her first professional job. She was a performer in a Montreal cabaret act. Her family would eventually relocate to Los Angeles, and in 1944, the very famous director George Cukor, who directed Gone with the Wind and The Philadelphia Story, and many, many other movies, cast her as just a 17-year-old. She was 17, Patrick.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
As a Cockney maid in Gaslight with Ingrid Bergman. That role got her a contract with MGM. Patrick, she got her first Oscar nomination for playing this role as a 17-year-old.
She did. I know. It's crazy.
And if you've never seen, and I have to pause here because if you only know Angela Lansbury from the couple super iconic things we're going to talk about in a minute, you have to go back and watch her in Gaslight, because it's like, if you've never seen her like this, it's like a revelation. Mm-hmm. I mean, because she plays this very like conniving, it's very subtle, conniving role, and she was nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for this. Just a year later, she would get her second Oscar nomination for playing a music hall singer in The Picture of Dorian Gray.
I mean, incredible.
which is actually very appropriate for this time of year. If you are looking for some soft spooks, like we like to say here on the pod, The Picture of Dorian Gray is an excellent soft spook for your autumnal viewing. So she would make 40 more movies, including The Harvey Girls with Judy Garland, which if you've never seen The Harvey Girls, she kind of plays another, like, dare I say, kind of like, what's the word, Patrick? Have you seen The Harvey Girls?
I haven't.
She plays like the proprietress of a saloon, or it's either that or she's like the lead like showgirl at the saloon.
Sure.
And she's a little bit of like a bitch to Judy Garland, to be honest with you, in this movie.
Good. She deserved it.
It's like you just don't think of Angela Lansbury playing bitchy characters, but that's kind of how she got her start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she got her third Oscar nomination for playing one of the all-time cinematic villains in The Manchurian Candidate in 1962.
Yeah.
If you have never seen The Manchurian Candidate, you have got to watch her role in The Manchurian Candidate. She plays a truly iconic, conniving villain.
What's crazy about all these roles is that she was like a good 20 years younger than the roles she was playing. Always. This has always been her story.
Absolutely. Well, and to that point, she played Elvis Presley's mother in one of his movies. It was called Blue Hawaii. It was made in 1961. Just crazy. And we've not even gotten to her Disney part yet, and she's already an iconic actress, right?
Absolutely.
But so she would transition, as many women of a certain age, they have to figure out, unfortunately, they have to figure out ways to keep their career going because, in Hollywood, it's like, women are put out to sea if they're like over 40, which is just insanely ridiculous.
I was going to say, let's be clear that we're saying a certain age being 30s and 40s. Like,
yes,
no.
yeah. We're saying
ma'am.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
However, like other many women, since, before, during her time, and after, they have taken lemons and made lemonade out of it because she transitioned to Broadway and just became the toast of Broadway. In 1966, she played the title role of Mame in Mame on Broadway. That would be the first of 5 Tony Awards. If you can see footage of her, if you can go on YouTube and watch footage of her in this role, or you can listen to the cast album. I mean, this was one of her most iconic performances. So while she's on Broadway, she gets cast by Disney in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. She did play Eglantine Price in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I mean, this would be her first, sort of Disney role. Again, like, come on. I mean, Bedknobs and Broomsticks was, I feel like for like millennials and Gen X, that movie is like something we all discovered like on TV, like on the Disney Channel or whatever, just an amazing, that would be her first. That's one of the first reasons she's a Disney legend, right?
Yes.
The second reason that she is a Disney legend, and probably the most iconic for her in terms of Disney performances, was 1991's Beauty and the Beast, where she played Mrs. Potts and sang the title song. And of course, she sang in Be Our Guest as well. But really, it's the title song that is. Have you seen, Patrick, the footage of her in the studio singing the title song with the orchestra?
Absolutely, it's incredible. I thought you were going to say, "Have you seen Beauty and the Beast?"
No,
I have.
Patrick, have you seen?
Do you know about this movie?
Do you know about this movie? It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's out there on YouTube. I recommend just going to watch it because you're just watching history happen.
Oh my God, it's like it gives me chills just to even like think about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just thinking of the footage, because it really is like history being made. There is also footage of her recording "Be Our Guest" with Jerry Orbach,
which is really fun to watch.
Yeah, and David
the two of
Ogden.
them.
Yeah, it's just oh man, and they had a history too already. I mean, he was a Broadway legend at that point. She was a Broadway legend.
Oh yeah.
He had been on Murder, She Wrote with her. I mean, so they already had a relationship, and just to see them play off each other in the studio.
Yeah.
And you can tell, you can see, like you see Howard Ashman and you can see them all, and it's like you can tell that everybody understands that something really truly special is happening in the moment.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
It's just, I can't, this is just, I mean, Beauty and the Beast is one of the most iconic Disney films of all time. And to have her with the vocals on the title track. I mean, again, like Eileen Woods, if this was the only thing that Angela Lansbury ever did, it would be enough to make her a Disney legend.
100%. Yeah.
She would encore as Mrs. Potts in the direct-to-video sequel Beauty and the Beast: The Enchanted Christmas, and funnily enough, the Kingdom Hearts 2 video game.
True. Yeah.
She was also a segment host for Fantasia 2000. She introduced Stravinsky's Firebird Suite in that film. And another fun little tidbit. Do you remember back when DVDs, Patrick, were were first being introduced, and Disney first started putting out their movies on DVD? And they remember when people tried to make a big deal of like the menus on DVDs?
Oh my gosh, yes.
And people were trying to understand like how to even navigate a menu and what it was for.
Yeah.
When Disney put out Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on DVD for the first time, Angela Lansbury hosted this feature on the DVD that was basically telling you how to navigate a DVD menu.
I didn't know that.
And like,
funny.
do you remember this? Do you know this?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
She kind of guides you through the features of the DVD. It's kind of wild and crazy.
That's cool.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't have time to go through all of her achievements. Of course, she also on Broadway, she was originated Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd. I mean, come on.
I know. Yeah.
Come on. She was one of the Mama Roses on in Gypsy on Broadway and in one of the Gypsy revivals. I think she won a Tony for that. She won a Tony for Mrs. Lovett. She has 5 Tonys total. She has 6 Golden Globes. She has 18 Primetime Emmy nominations. I think at least 12 of those are for her role as Jessica Fletcher on Murder, She Wrote. I mean, an iconic television show of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
That your mother probably watched, that I probably watched with your mother. I watched with my mother. I probably watched with your mother.
Yes.
I am still watching it today. It's a great bedtime show. She is the recipient of the National Medal of the Arts. She has a Kennedy Center honor. She was named a commander of the Order of the British Empire in 1994. She is a dame now. She was a dame of the British Empire. She was named a Disney legend in 1995. This is probably very early on in when they were doing Disney Legends. She and then of course she passed away recently. It was October 11th, 2022. Honestly, I had to stop somewhere, and I mean. But truly, I mean, Angela Lansbury is one of the biggest acting legends I think we have. Her career spans film, TV, Broadway, voiceover work. Like, come on.
It's true. It's, these days, it's really hard to be truly an icon. I think the word icon is overused a lot by us included. But rarely do you have somebody who was born in, what was it, 1925? But everybody knows their name. Like just really world renowned Angela Lansbury. Find me somebody who hasn't heard of Angela Lansbury at some point in their life. And musical contributions, like since this is the music episode, just extraordinary. And you're right, just for voicing Mrs. Potts and singing Beauty and the Beast alone is an accomplishment that I don't think has ever been done again, of just how extraordinary that song is and how well known that song is. Again, everybody, whether you're a Disney fan or not, you know that song and you know that voice and you know that rendition of it. It's just it's the blueprint for how to record a Disney song, It is. And I think that's one of the things, like specifically with music, that makes her one of those. There are very few people whose appeal and popularity like spans generations. Sure.
And like, no matter whether if you're an adult, Angela Lansbury for certain things, right? If you're a kid, Angela Lansbury for certain things. And then as you grow, her for other things. If you're like a Broadway fan, or whatever, it's like, she's one of those people that just spans ages, generations, like her, like it's not just, you know what I mean? Like it's just,
yeah,
it's crazy.
And genres too.
Genres, yeah.
Well. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I have to share a couple can I share a couple weird tidbits about her?
You can. You have 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. Did you know? Did you know that she released her own exercise video called Oh my God, Patrick.
Oh no.
This is one of those things that, like, I mean, everybody's kind of got like little weird things. Mm-hmm. I think it was called My Personal Moves, but like it's a video where she like goes through her personal exercise routine.
Oh boy. Okay.
And then I have to share like a personal thing about her. So did you know when she was living in Los Angeles with her family, her daughter was starting to get like wrapped up a little bit in the Manson.
This story I do know, but keep going.
Yes. And she literally moved her entire family to New York to get her daughter out of the clutches of that.
Mm-hmm. She like revealed that on a talk show or something, didn't she? At one point, I can't remember what it was, but
she did.
That her family very well could have been one of the families by the Manson. Like insane to me.
Yeah, and she was like, nope, we're not doing this. I'm picking up my entire family and we're moving.
Yeah, I mean that just goes to show you like the power and the clout that she has as a human being in this earth.
Yeah,
you know.
And the other thing I love about her is, like, obviously I never met her. I don't know her. But she seemed like just one of as far as a person, she seems like she must have been because people have nothing but good things to say about her. And she just seems like she was just a wonderful person as well.
Yeah. I don't think you can find a story of like, she was horrible to work with or whatever.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe she had, contracts that you had to sign if you ever met her. But there's nothing out there of like her being a horrible person to work with, which is great to see.
I did get to see her on stage one time. I got to see her play Madame Arcady in Blithe Spirit on Broadway with Rupert Everett, and we stage doored, and this was in 2009. She came out and she made one round, Patrick, of people, and like I mean, I'm sitting at my laptop. I don't know how to describe this, but like she was as close to me as I am to you, like from me to the computer screen.
Sure,
it was insane.
Yeah,
I was just to see that in front of my face was wild.
Yeah. Definitely was one of those people that you were in the presence of greatness if you were in the same state as she was. Even.
Yes. So. Yeah.
Good.
Man, four incredible Disney legends.
I was going to say, and spanned sort of the spectrum of like people behind the scenes that I'm willing to bet most of her tweeters had never heard their name uttered before, to Angela Lansbury, who's everybody's heard her name uttered before. So a good mix this time on the DL.
We have to do more of these, like, and I think not let fun. It be another 10 years before we...
No, I think they're fun. Well, in fact, Tweedles, let us know your thoughts, on these Disney legends. Did you know them? Are you glad? Are you going to look into them and find out some more and let us know and teach us about these Disney legends that we just brought up? And we also want to know, what categories do you want us to do? Do you have a specific category or a specific legend that we have not talked about yet and you want us to highlight? Let us know. You can do so by hitting up our social media on Instagram at GDTD Podcast, or leave us a voice memo or an email at info@gazetothed.com.
And let us know if you are inspired to name any of your future children Tootie.
Or
maybe Steveachu's Nefachu is Tootie.
Tootie-achu.
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 Sounds like a Pokemon character. But I'm into it. Tootie-achu.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, JT.
Do you want some quick D?
I certainly do.
Come over here. I got something to show ya.
Kale's going to be mad at you.
I know. I'm willing to risk it.
But we're celebrating the Britney Spears book.
We are, yes. And you know what? He'll forgive me. It's okay.
Doubtful. Have you met Kale? That's a thing.
This will actually be the beginning of a lifetime feud.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
He buries
Landry,
hatchets, but he keeps maps of where he puts them.
That's right. Landry v. English.
Ooh,
is gonna be
yes.
the new... Interesting.
Sorry, Kale. Sorry.
I'm not sorry about it. But I am indeed ready for some quick D.
Okay, let's do it. Do you have do you have quick D for us?
I only have quick D, you know me.
It's either quick or it's nothing.
That's right. We have crowdsourced our quick D once again, and we have Steveachu. It's a Steveachu episode, really.
It is the Steveachu issue.
Yeah, we have the Steveachu Ishachu. Steveachu's Questachu is.
Ooh. Let's have a chew.
What's the gayest thing you've ever done in a Disney park?
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute.
Clean it up. What's the gayest thing you've ever done in a Disney park? Well, I mean, had my default answer is like having the Gays Do the D Pride Festival that we had, our miniature Pride party at a Disney park. That was pretty gay. Lots
when
of
was
rainbows
that?
were had there. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I can't.
Was
remember.
I there?
You sure weren't.
Okay.
You were not a host yet. At this time.
Okay. I wasn't gay then either. No, I'm just teasing.
But Chris from Wishful Thinking was there. Let's see. I think the gayest thing is like having dinner in Cinderella's castle. That's pretty gay.
Oh, that is pretty gay.
I still have the wand that you get from it too. So
that's pretty gay. The gayness continues. What is the gayest thing I've done in a Disney park?
I have lots of gay things I've done at Disney Park. Let's see. I remember I went up to a woman who, remember the old, like the Walt Disney World promotional little like featurettes that they had that you could like send in and get a DVD of the promotional things.
Yes.
Anyways, and they had like cast members telling a story for each of the parks. Yes. I recognized one of the women who was in one of the videos, and I went up to her and got her autograph. That was pretty gay of me.
I'd have probably done the same thing though.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, I know you. You work at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And she's like, come here, my young gay. Yes. I have stories for you.
I guess probably the gayest thing I've done is with two of my besties. We went to the Halloween party one year, literally on Halloween night, and we Disney bounded as Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather.
That's pretty gay. Yeah.
Yes, and when we told so this was when, you know, the bride is like outside of Haunted Mansion, you know, when you're doing and she was like, what are y'all? And we were like, we're Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. She's like, shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth. I think she clocked us right away.
Oh yeah. She was like, those fairies in this economy.
Yeah. That's probably the gayest thing that I've ever done at a Disney park. I mean, I've done a lot of gay things at Disney parks as well, but that's up there. I mean, you know, like just, you know, I mean, anytime like I've gone, you know, on a solo trip and like waited in line to meet a princess, that's pretty gay.
That's pretty gay.
Yeah, because I've done that with Tiana. I've done that with Cinderella. Let's see, other gay things. I took a picture in Christopher Robin's bedroom with Pooh and Tigger.
Yeah.
Which is already pretty gay, but then the Tigger and the Pooh, well, more the Tigger than the Pooh was a little...
Handsy.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
That's a thing. Tigger,
yes.
I think, talk to me about, because Tigger, apparently, everyone has a story about Tigger being a little like, oh, where's that hand right now? I don't know.
And the fact that we were in Christopher Robin's bedroom was a little disconcerting. You know.
Fair. We have to move on from that. We're not ending there.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, just I could go on, but I won't.
Do you have things to do? Do you have somewhere to be, JT?
No.
Suddenly you're at a loss for words?
No, I mean, you know, I've probably flirted with people after several drinks in World Showcase.
Oh, I mean, who amongst us has not? Yeah.
Drinking the Neil Patrick Harris margarita at La Cava is pretty gay.
That's pretty gay.
You know, yeah.
I think, yeah, maybe I've rope dropped La Cava. That's pretty gay.
I've done that too. That is pretty gay.
Been the first person in line for a margarita at La Cava at 8 in the morning or whatever it is.
Yeah, that is pretty gay. I mean, trying to have banter with a villain character, that's pretty gay. I've done that.
Fair. Okay, so just us being in a Disney park is the gayest thing that's
listen,
ever happened.
I think as soon as we put our fingerprint on the biometric screener, it automatically becomes a gay moment at a Disney park.
I was like, where are you putting that finger? I did not know where that sort of was going.
Listen, that could have gone in many different gay directions too.
And I'm sure it has. JT.
That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. Ratings and reviews are greatly appreciated and help people find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. You can continue the conversation after this episode on Instagram at GDTD Podcasts and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.
Where are you putting that finger?